Hi folks, Baz the Garage Strongman. Today I'm going to do the second of my top 5 videos, following on from my first one, which was in setting up a home gym, your top 5 essential pieces of kit. So that was the power cage, the barbell, the weight discs, the bench, and they were in no particular order, top 4 things. Then dumbbells or dumbbell handles was number 5. That'll get you most stuff with a decent session. Obviously your powerlifting exercises are covered, your bench, your squat and your deadlift pretty safely with the cage. You can train alone if needs be. And the dumbbells will give you some accessory movements. Following that, when funds allow, regarding funds, for me, I thought a good public gym would cost you £30 a month, so I can justify spending £300 a year on some kit, and obviously within a year that's paid for itself, and that's where I've sort of been. I've been adding to it, maybe not £300 every year, but certainly that's a sort of figure I think will serve you well in getting yourself a decent home gym, particularly if you shop around and use eBay for second-hand goods. I mean, weights are weights, aren't they? So you don't need to be spending top dollar. So the second video is going to be the top 5 desirable pieces of kit. So in terms of your home gym training, looking for accessory movements and things for those big 3 lifts. Here we go. So number 1 on my top 5 home gym kit desirables would be the high pulley. You might be able to get a full pulley set, obviously, that does both, but the high pulley is something you're missing out on when you've got your top 5 essentials on my previous video. You can do a lot of things with just the barbell and dumbbells, but you'll struggle to really work the lats without a high pulley or chin-up bar. And I know we discussed some of the power cages have chin-up bars on them, but if you can't do a full chin-up, you're going to struggle. So the lat pull down enables you to do primarily lat pull downs, varying sort of handles. You've got these different attachments. The left one there, particularly for tricep pull downs. Straight bar then. That bar's pretty good as well for upright rows, which we'll come to in a minute. That's my pulley system. Obviously this one fits standard plates, can get attachments, adapters I should say, fit on that sort of standard prong to allow you to take Olympic weights. And as I mentioned on a previous video, you can get power cages that have the pulley system attached. So as I said, splash out, get yourself one that does everything, combine 2 purchases. Number 2 on my top 5 of home gym kit desirables would be the low pulley. As I mentioned on the previous video, you can do a lot of rows with dumbbells and things like that, but a seated row where you can stack up the weight is very difficult to replicate just with dumbbells. And obviously with this pulley, which combines the low and the high, you've also got things like barbell or pulley cable curls for the biceps, tricep push downs with the top one. That's a good superset, as well as the seated rows. You've got the upright rows, all manner of sort of pulling on the diagonal planes and everything with this pulley system. So my kind of top 1 and top 2 are combined really, but of course, as I mentioned, the high pulley for the lat pull downs is something you're missing up until now, so that's what I would recommend. Okay, number 3 is where my list gets a little bit subjective. Up until now, I think it's probably been a little bit difficult to argue with in terms of priorities. But now it's going to depend a little bit on your goals and what you want to achieve, what your weaknesses are. For me, this piece of kit, the Hex Bar, has been excellent. I've suffered with my knees and for a spell unable to squat. I mean, I still don't go to depth or anything. The Hex Bar deadlift shifts the emphasis much more onto the quads, so I've been able to work those a lot better. Sort of from my rehab phase, I still chuck it in every now and then. You can also do shrugs quite nicely with it. And before I got farmer's handles, I was doing farmer's walks with this as well. Quite a versatile piece of kit. Friendlier on the lower back as well for those with any issues there in terms of deadlifting. As I say, gives that different slight variation to body position really. Nice flatter back. Very much driving straight up from a sort of almost leg press position at the start. And a quick demo for those of you unfamiliar with this. So you stand inside it. As you can see, I'm in a pretty decent squat position there. Driving right up. There's the shrugs. Obviously it's a fixed bar. Fixed hand position there. You might find that a little bit uncomfortable, but as I say, it's much kinder on the lower back there. And farmer's walks allow you to move quite freely with that hex without banging into it. The Hex Bar. Number 4 on my list is my most recent addition to the gym, the reverse hyper machine. Now again, being quite a subjective choice, for anyone with any lower back problems, I've had some in the past, I find this piece of kit invaluable in terms of strengthening that sort of glute, lower back area, and indeed getting the whole posterior chain really working together. When I come off this, I feel my posture's better. I'm almost walking up on my toes. I've started from nothing, no weight on there, just the kit. I'm gradually increasing week by week. I'm looking at getting 3 sets of 20 in. So I'm only up to 45 kilos I'm going to be on next time now with this. And as I say, it feels really good straight after coming off it, and sort of in terms of my day-to-day posture. I'm unsure in terms of strength gains right now because it's relatively new, but my deadlift is moving in the right direction, so it's certainly not hindering, shall we say. Obviously Westside Barbell made this popular. I don't know if Louis Simmons actually invented it or sort of took the idea. I got a feeling the Russians had it first, the Soviet sort of lifters, but he'd actually damaged his back. I think he'd broken his back, and this allowed him to rehab it and get back to even setting sort of world records for his age group on the deadlift. So if it works for him, it's good enough for me. And whether using it for rehab or just kind of preventative really is the way I see it, to keep that sort of lower back pretty healthy. I'll give you a quick demo. Oh, you just get up on it and just let your legs hang, and then you get them swinging. Oh. It just feels, oh, fuck. Feels so good just when you get off it, just doing a few reps like that. Number 5 then on my list of home gym desirables is the Swiss bar or football bar. this one on the top here, and this is for benching primarily. So you can see we've got the different grips, different hand positions. To my knowledge, the football bar has all straight handles and the Swiss bar has all diagonals. This has a combination of two, so you could call it whichever you want, I suppose, but the concept being is with your hands in that position instead of like that, the shoulders are less vulnerable and it's easier to stay in a good bench position, lowering it down to sort of your nipple area. It protects the shoulders really. If you want to see this in action, please check out my last chest video from yesterday, where I was doing it. I've got my cage set up for squatting at the moment, so I'm unable to show you this, but it's on my previous video. A new dimension to bench pressing, and your shoulders will thank you for it. I suppose an honourable mention should go to this attachment for the leg extension and leg curl. You can tell I'm not a fan of leg day, that it didn't occur to me, and also it's a bit dusty, as you can see. So that's it, folks, for today. That's my top 5 of home gym kit desirables, following on from my top 5 essentials, of course. So you've essentially got a top 10 there of home gym bits of kit. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree? Please drop me any comments below if you think I've missed anything. Please check out my first video of the top 5 essential pieces of kit, and look out for future top 5s coming soon. I'm Strongman. See you soon.